Your personal data is already being collected, and your privacy is absolutely being violated. And I want to tell you what you can do to stop that data collection and restore your privacy immediately. The government of the United States actually put in motion something called the Fair Credit Reporting Act to allow companies the opportunity to collect data on their customers and that help them better understand their customer base so that companies could better serve economic efficiencies for their own company and therefore the larger national economy. The information that those companies were collecting became very convenient for the federal government as well, for studying demographics, income growth, national security, and for law enforcement purposes. The FCRA was and remains a very important piece of American legislation that serves all the American people. As companies started to grow and new innovations in technology grew along with them, instead of it being just information based on what we voluntarily gave, the information that companies started to be able to collect became more and more intrusive. Things like social security numbers, marital status, political leanings, religious affiliation, even the history of health passed on to your children. And that's how we got to where we are now with social media and health records. Whenever you sign up for a new mobile app, it'll ask you for permission to look at your phone, to record your contacts, use your camera, for example, whenever you fill out new paperwork online, and you know that that data is being collected. But there's other ways where your data is being collected that may not be quite so obvious to you. Your credit card and all of your credit card transactions. There's also histories of what you purchase online, where you purchase them from, how frequently you purchase them, what payment methods you use. There's a whole history of transactions that are related to what you buy for other people and what other people may buy for you, including sending and transferring money on platforms like Venmo or PayPal. Think about how often you use your Maps app to get around, your history of jumping from Wi-Fi hotspot to Wi-Fi hotspot, like at the airport or at a coffee shop, and they can correlate that with other data to see what you were purchasing while you were on site. It becomes quite scary if you start thinking about all the different ways that your data can be collected, cross-referenced, and corroborated. My name is Andrew Bustamante. I'm a former CIA intelligence officer. My privacy has always been something that's very important to me. And as my business has grown, as my income has grown, as my children have grown, my privacy has become even that much more special and important to me. And I wanted to make sure that I knew how my data was being collected, to take back my data and protect it from being shared, stored, or sold outside of my control. According to the rules of the FCRA, anyone who handles your data is supposed to do something called anonymize your data or scrub your data. And there are very specific information brokers who have federal government permission to collect, correlate, subdivide, and sell your information. But in order for them to do that, they must strip that information away from belonging to you as a named individual and find a way to bucket that information into larger groups that help serve a purpose. For example, serve demographic research, economic research. It shouldn't be something that's listed specifically to you. Here's where the problem is. There are other information brokers out there who are specifically in the business of de-anonymizing your information, putting all the pieces back together. There's a legal precedent that's approved by the federal government and heavily regulated to take your personal information, strip your personal details out, and use that information in a sanitized legal way. But then there's a less regulated industry that is also legal, taking that anonymized information, reattaching your personal information to it, and then reselling it as PII or personally identifiable information. You still actually have the right to ask any company out there carrying your PII to erase, eradicate, and return any information about you that they possess. The trick is understanding how to do it and what you have to do. The United States and many European countries actually have some of the strongest privacy laws anywhere in the world. The problem is, data brokers oftentimes automate their systems. If you submit a request on Monday, they might execute upon your request by Wednesday. On their records, your information will have been purged and cleansed. On Thursday, it's going to find your information again, and then by Friday afternoon, you're right back on the exact same system. This causes quite a problem for anybody out there trying to maintain their privacy. There are more than 500 registered brokerage services out there collecting your data all the time. Even if you were to submit 100 requests every day, you would still have hundreds of other brokerages out there with active access to your personal information, selling and trading the information between each other, and it would all be fully legal. Some of the primary targets that cyber criminals and hackers are looking for are those data and information brokers. Between 2012 and 2020, there were more than 210 million American records that were hacked and pulled from existing data brokers brokerage and information brokerage services. More than 2/3 of the adults in the United States have had their information stolen and compromised by hackers. That's a mind-boggling number of people. About a year ago, my wife and I went through the process of starting our own routine to try to cleanse our public record, and it became a very arduous task. It was just this vicious cycle of us deleting our information and then having our information appear again. So that made me start asking the question, where could I go to find continuous monitoring of my data? And that's how I found a company called Aura. Now, Aura is a cybersecurity company that's made for the everyday person. And I became a paying client of Aura, and I'm talking to you now as a sponsored partner of Aura. Aura is a powerful tool that has become critical to my wife and I's journey to maintain and protect our own privacy. Aura has an automated service that actually submits requests on your behalf to have information and data brokers cleanse their system of any information related to you. At the same time, they also have an automated monitoring system to make sure that anytime that information reappears on those brokerage sites, a new automated request is submitted to have that information eradicated again. Aura is actively monitoring the same automated system that continues to retake our data. We've seen a significant decrease in the amount of personal information that's available about us online. It's not easy to find my phone number, my email address, my date of birth, my full name, my current address. That is exactly the power of having Aura's services constantly cleaning and cleansing your digital footprint. They also have really strong identity theft insurance in place. Aura is willing to step in and provide $1 million per person insurance policy against exactly that situation. It makes me that much more confident. It gives me real peace of mind that I'm able to go on with my life and focus on family, friends, fun, and growing my business. I'm already a paying customer and official sponsor of Aura, and I have myself using Aura, my wife is using Aura. I love the dashboard that I have to track my credit rating, my financial transactions. It even tracks whether or not there's any activity against me going on in the dark web. I believe in it, I use it, and I'm here to share it with you. As an official sponsor of Aura, I also get the opportunity to invite you in to come test their software for 14 days at no cost to you. All you have to do is click the link in the description or visit aura.com/everydayspy, and you get 14 days at no cost where you can see for yourself how powerful these tools are. You'll be able to enter just a few pieces of information, and in less than 15 minutes, you'll be set up with your own dashboard on your own mobile device so that you can see what's happening with your information all around the world. You'll have critical alerts, daily monitoring, and you'll have a health check that sits in front of you and tells you everything that's going on with your digital footprint. Aura really is the kind of peace of mind that my wife and I were looking for a year ago, but didn't find until recently. And I want to share that same peace of mind with you. What I want you to know is that the tools that you've been looking for to protect your personal information and private data are out there. All you have to do is choose to use them. So visit aura.com/everydayspy right now and start on your 14-day trial. The best thing you can do is use a modern tool to help you deal with modern privacy issues, and that's exactly what Aura provides. And when you do, leave a comment below so that I can celebrate with you, because I know that your best night's sleep is yet to come.